Corner. I'm Kristina Guerin, and today I'm with Barb Moss, and we're going to talk about some of the productions that Theatre Kent has been doing. They just finished War Finds a Way, which is about the War of 1812. Since 1792, the missionaries and their Indian brethren had lived together in peace, but the war was moving ever closer. In the Theatre Kent's production of War Finds a Way, Fairfield, 1813, playwright Karen Robinette captures the dramatic history of the mission's final 4 hours. As seen through the eyes of several families. The majority of characters, including General Henry Proctor, Commander Oliver Perry, and General William Harrison, are drawn from the pages of history. The show will also feature beautiful hymns of the Mavarians as sung by the community choirs. War Finds a Way played October 3rd to 5th, and it was Theatre Kent's first production at the Chatham Capitol Theatre. And now Barbara Moss is going to show a few costumes from the production.
Thank you very much, Kristina. As you said, there were 3 professionals from history. This is the costume we made for General Proctor, as it's red, since he was one of the British soldiers. And then we went on to Oliver Perry. He was a Navy Commodore. So we made his blue and silver. And then General Harrison, who was the overseer of the burning of Moravian Town, we made him gold. And like everything else, it takes a little bit of time to recreate, not necessarily exactly the way we wanted them, but at least there was our interpretation of what we thought might have gone on back then in terms of costumes. So these are the 3 primary costumes that we've done for War Finds a Way. The others were typical pioneer style costumes for the ladies and the gentlemen of the times.
So you did your research to...
We did. We spent hours doing research.
And you fully constructed all of these suits.
Yes, these particular 3 I did make myself. I got some hints. I made a visit in Ottawa to the War Museum. And
that's a good place to research.
It was excellent. So it was a big help. So that pretty much is good with War Finds a Way.
Yes.
So hubby, I just move these out.
Sounds good. And now we're going to talk about the next production that Theatre Kent is doing. It's called The Littlest Rocket. And that will be starting November 21st till the 23rd. And it is about a little elf named Flaky, and she heads to New York for some adventures as she pursues her dream of being a Radio City rocket. Flaky faces one giant hurdle along the way, her not-so-giant stature. Don't miss this all-aged holiday musical featuring a great mix of songs and classic Christmas tunes, dazzling precision dance numbers, and a large cast of crazy New York characters. So this will be going back to the Kiwanis building.
Kiwanis Theatre, that's
yes.
right.
So now we're going to go back to Barb again to see some of these.
Well, as you mentioned, Flaky is our littlest rocket, and the ladies that made the elf costumes spent a lot of time working on them. As you can see, each of the characters have something that determines a little bit of their personality. So they're not all exactly the same.
Yes, and they're distinguished.
Distinguished, yes. Some of them are known as slacker elves. So there's a few things that they do that are differently. Some of our unusual New York characters. We have a lot of girls who are playing more than one part. So we have a number of quick changes. And one of the things that we'll do to determine a quick change is this unusual wig that we have over here. It's a quick on and a quick off.
Makes them
for
look
the gals.
different.
Makes them look different, absolutely. We have a clown who's going to be in one of our musical numbers. So we've taken a regular tuxedo shirt, tuxedo ruffles.
Yes.
We've put patches on a kale coat. We've given him a bowler hat, and he'll of course have a little bit of clown makeup,
yes.
which will make him look the part. And then our dancers, we have some interesting outfits for our rocket dancers. One of our particular costumes here is these are all good-looking girls with great long legs.
Nice and tall.
Nice and tall. So we have a little red skirt with a little fur, Christmas number. And the vest also has a little bit of fur on it, so
Getting into the Christmas
get
spirit.
into the Christmas. And then we also have a little sparkly green outfit for one of the classy numbers. Like I said, these girls have great long legs, and they're really tremendous dancers.
If they're wearing that in the parade tonight, they're going to be a little chilly.
I'm not sure what the Rockettes are wearing in the show in the parade tonight, but hopefully we'll keep them warm enough.
Yes. Keep them dancing.
Keep them dancing. And many of the other characters, we have this one over here. You might recognize the little red and white, but it's a big skirt. This is Mrs. Claus. So she is going to be in our show. And this was made several years ago. We used to do some work over at the hospitals or some of the nursery schools.
Okay.
And Mrs.
Claus liked to visit.
Mrs. Claus went to visit, and she would read the story of the night before Christmas. So we've had Mrs. Claus around for a while.
Yeah. So now she's coming to the Theater Kent's production.
Absolutely. She's a get-around girl. She gets around to all kinds of places.
That's okay. That's good.
So, what else would you like?
Do you want to just give a little bit of a background on what you do as a costume designer?
Oh, okay. One of the first things you do is, of course, read the play. And I usually read it 2 or 3 times to kind of get the feel for the characters. Do a little research. In this case, I went on the Rockette website.
That's a good place to start.
Get an idea of what they look like. The same with the elves. I talked it over with the ladies who are on the sewing team, and they got it. Yep, we can do that. Let's see if I can find one of the boys. The girls are wearing dresses, obviously, but I think we have. Here he is. No, it's got a red stripe on.
Red. Maybe it's still packed away.
Could be. Anyway, some of our boys are wearing rompers, and so, but they're all wearing these shirts with either striped sleeves or
the plain
red ones. Yeah, so they all look a little bit. And then we have a wonderful little character who's the head elf. Her name is McElfin Elf. That makes her important because she has elf in her name twice, so she says. So we've made her a little suit. And we've given her a little tie.
So she stands out.
So she is the head elf. Yes, she's a delightful little girl too. And then one of the adult ladies winds up being an elf in one of the numbers, and so we've made an adult elf. And you can see this gal is really quite tall.
Yes,
she is actually one of the Rockettes. So. But she wanted to.
Well, that was nice that she came to help out with the production and keep everybody on track.
Yes. And many of our characters are unusual characters. We have a Star Trek fan who's dressed like one of the Star Trek characters. And we have a lady who's been shopping all day, and she's harried, and she's got all kinds of wonderful treasures that she's found. And what else have we got? Characters with big hair.
Yes.
And we have a bookworm who sits in the little diner reading her book until she sings. And when she sings, she's got a wonderful voice.
Does she?
Yes, she does.
So that's something to look forward to.
And we also have a wonderful character. Her name is the Sugar Plum Fairy Godmother. And she's pink.
Very pink.
Very pink. And she has an amazing voice, and she does a beautiful dance, and she has backup dancers, so it's going to be a very fun scene.
Be sure to come and see the production. There's lots of great singers involved.
Oh, yes, it's wonderful, and I've been watching rehearsals now and again, and I can't help but, bob my head and tap my toe. Some of the songs are excellent, so.
Okay, so that wraps up our interview today with Barb. Thank you for meeting us and showing us some costumes.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate that.
No problem. So again, this is for the Littlest Rockette, and it's playing at the Kiwanis Theater, so make sure to check it out.